Good morning. Hopefully, the sound is better than it has been in the past. We'll see when people get on if you're able to hear me, but I believe if I did the math right and can count, this is episode 5 of Walk and Talks. So, thank you for joining me. I'm not sure if anyone's on yet, but this is where I get some steps in the morning, prepping for a natural bodybuilding show. Will be my second of the season, and get to talk about perfume, trying to combine two things that I enjoy, or actually love, I should say. So, see how this goes. Going to keep this up for the foreseeable future. I've got a mic, so I really hope the sound's coming through. And if you hop on here, let me know what your scent of the day is. Happy Tuesday. And I'm going to talk about some fragrances, coffee, tea, matcha, whatever you drink. Let me know. If you're curious, this is some decaf coffee with a little splash, or I should say, a few grounds of some regular coffee as well. I am currently 6:30 actually in the morning, and walking a few miles, about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. We'll see how that goes. But if you're here for perfume, got some samples. We got Nikolai sample set there. I've got an essential perfumes sample kit as well here. And then I already made a video on this kit. That was risky. This one is Acro. So this is the larger discovery set. They used to have, hello, thanks for hopping on. Shout out, please. Yeah, Avery, what's up? Thanks for commenting. Thanks for hopping on. How did you find my channel? Can you hear me? I'm on a mic. I hope it works. I'm not sure. If you can, give me a thumbs up in the chat letting me know that you can hear me. Hopefully. Oh, there's 11 people on here. Thank you for jumping on. If you can, let me know that you can hear the audio loud enough and not the treadmill, please. So I'm trying on a mic, and I'm not sure if it works because I can only hear myself. But just going over some fragrances, talking about the morning. Hopefully you're having a wonderful morning. We've got Acro's Discovery set there. And I've also got an Essential Parfums Discovery set. And Nikolai Perfumes Discovery set as well. But this is something I'm going to be doing on a regular basis, just talking about fragrances, walking, getting some steps in, talking about natural bodybuilding. That's why I'm doing this, getting ready to compete. I also love perfumes, try and make content for both. I figured might as well combine both things that I love. As far as full bottles, I have a couple bottles here. If you see something that you want me to talk about, let me know in the chat. Let me know your scent of the day. What are you drinking to wake up? Hopefully it's a wonderful Tuesday morning for you and not too hectic. But let's see. Also, like I said, some full bottles. Killian, that's Black Phantom, falls upon us. Quickly winter will be there at the doorstep. But I don't only have niche perfumes. I do have some relative cheapies, or this used to be. That's Eau de Roches Man or Homme. That bottle used to be like, I don't know, at discounters, 15, 20 bucks. Now I see it for like 75. What the hell happened there? Here's another one. Might happen same way. This is Moschino's Uomo. So that smells awesome. Good spring, summer, maybe fall. I don't know if it'll have legs in the winter if it's really cold where you live. Where I live, it doesn't get very cold. Um, then I've got, this is a great winter scent, in my opinion. I think they still make it. I'm not sure if you vaulted it, but that's Tobacco Oud. I'm sorry. Yeah, Tobacco Oud, Tom Ford, little decant there. Awesome stuff. But these, I know are for sure discontinued. These are just 30 ml decants I've had for a couple of years, and I cherish them because they don't make them anymore, and they smell awesome. So this is Tobacco Oud Intense. All right, this one amps up everything from. So if you like Tobacco Oud, that one would be the one to get if they still made it. So unfortunately they don't, but maybe they'll bring it back. I'm not sure if Tom Ford does that in general, but so the other one, this is probably one of my what's Nova. Thanks for saying hi. Yeah, it smells gorgeous if you like tobacco oud, kind of darker, richer scents, and it is beastly. But this one, Oud Wood Intense. So I think pretty much anyone that's into fragrances or perfume, even if you're not, you've probably heard of of Oud Wood by Tom Ford. Kind of a uh, industry standard when it comes to a clean, nice introductory oud scent. Oud Wood Intense, total different ballgame. Very, very, very polarizing, I would say. It's got a really very vibrant leather note that just hits you in the face. But if you can get your nose on that at some point, and you're a collector, keep it, buy it. As long as the price isn't super out of your budget, don't break the bank for it, but it's good stuff. So any of those interest you, let me know in the comments. I'll talk about them, but that's what I've got right now. I've also got some random samples here I can bring up, but I'm just going to go through some of them, talking about them like I just did. Let me know your scent of the day. Let me know how you're doing. Hope you're having a great week so far. What do you like to drink? You drink coffee, tea in the morning? Nothing? Water? Do you like to exercise? Again, if you're just jumping on, this is a series I'm going to be doing where I'm just getting some morning cardio in, talking about fragrances, natural bodybuilding a little bit. I don't want to push away my audience too much because it is a perfume channel, but that is kind of the reason why I am doing this whole thing. Walking at least. Do you like to exercise? What do you do to stay healthy? Who is this? Denise Richard. I can't pronounce your last name, but hello. Thank you for saying hi. Appreciate it. Appreciate you hopping on. Let me know why you're here. Are you here for, you just stumbled upon it? You're here for fragrances? Anthony P, what's up? Thanks for saying hi. Appreciate it. Hopefully you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up in the comments if you can hear me, por favor. Because I'm testing out a mic and I've seen people come and go, but no one's let me know if they can hear me, and maybe that's why they're leaving. So hopefully it's coming through. I'm not sure, but I'm really hoping it does. Because oh, thank God. Thank you, Anthony, for letting me know. Is it loud, or can you still hear the treadmill in the background? Or like, can you hear my voice relatively clear? What am I doing in this video? So, I talk about perfume, talk about fragrances, but I'm also walking and incorporating my steps because, oh, awesome. Thank you for the confirmation. Appreciate that. Much, much, much obliged. Um, I'm also a natural bodybuilder, lifetime drug free. So I'm prepping for a contest, and I like to do both. I make content for both channels that I have, and I've been neglecting this perfume channel because I've really been focusing. Prep takes a long time, a lot of time, I should say, and I make content for that, and I don't want to neglect my perfume channel because it's a second passion of mine. Oh, heck yeah, okay, because I was using headphones before, and the treadmill was super loud, so this mic is working. Thank you so much. But yeah, so that's why I'm doing both of these things, so I can at least satisfy both content. And I do this every morning anyway, so I can knock out this, get a little bit of the creativity side for me out, I don't know, and just see how this goes. I'm on the treadmill anyway, and I figure 2 birds with 1 stone never hurts. Let me know if there's anything that you like to talk about as far as fragrances go, if you're here for fragrances, or just like general entertainment. What are you drinking in the morning? Are you a coffee drinker, tea drinker? We can talk about anything really, but I will cater to perfume just because it is a perfume channel. So with that being said, let's kick it off with, let's do this set, because I think if you're into fragrances or you like smelling good and you want to smell a little bit unique and get something of better quality that may not be in the stores, and you're one of those people that don't want to smell like everyone else, I think this is a really good place to start. This company, Essential Parfums, they take all these perfumers, right? So these perfumers work for this company. Thank you for the thumbs up, whoever did that. Do I sell fragrances at a store? No, but I do decant. So that means like these bottles, right? I've got a bunch of full size bottles. I will occasionally sell those and put them in sprayers like this, travel sprays, right? So make them. But yeah, so nothing formally, no store, but I will be having a website and a blog under the same name, trypointscents.com. It's under construction, but it'll mostly be reviews. I really enjoy reviewing perfume and talking about it, and maybe at some point I'll have some decants listed up there for sale. But yeah, so thank you for asking. What fragrances do you like? Do you wear anything, Anthony? But yeah, so these are also really well priced. So for quote unquote niche perfumery, and all niche means, or the actual definition of a niche perfume, just means that that company doesn't do anything else other than make perfume. So that's the true definition of niche. It doesn't mean that it's necessarily better or worse than a designer. A designer is just referring to the fact that they do other things like make clothes or purses or whatever. So that's all it means. So back to it. Essential Parfums, I think, good place to start. Something for everyone. They've got patchouli fragrances, neroli, which is a white floral, like clean, fresh smelling, vanilla. They've got sandalwood, vetiver, bergamot. It's like a citrus, more like fresher, clean stuff. They've got a musk. They're very well done, high quality, last a long time. And like I said, a steal as far as the value of what you're getting from the fragrance. It is tough to beat, man. Like usually around $80 to $100, and most designers in the store, like Sephora or Ulta, they run way more expensive than $80 to $100. So I lost everyone because I was boring people with that. But back to this. Let's see. Let's see. All right. So if you are, what's up? I have Boo. What's going on? I have Boo. Thanks for hopping on. What brings you here? What are you doing? How's your morning going? Hopefully it's going well. Are you a fragrance collector, or are you here for randomness? And I'm not sure. Let me know. Oh, got 14 people. Bunch of people left. Bunch of people came back on. Welcome. You're in school. What are you studying? Let me know. Anyone? Coffee drinkers, tea drinkers? What do you drink to wake up in the morning? Maybe just water. Do you like to walk? Do you like to exercise? I'm doing this for, again, about to go to homeroom. Okay. Well, I hope class is good. You learned something today. Glad you're in school. A lot of other worse places to be. So, let's see. I haven't brought up, oh, okay. What do I have here? Some samples of, let's see. And we'll talk about this. So, the fall is around the corner, and that means for most people, probably going to be changing your fragrances if you're a collector, or if you like switching out your summer fragrances for your winter, fall fragrances, because typically summer fragrances are going to be fresher, cleaner, kind of in your more blue, right? Blue de Chanel, YSL, perfume, or not perfume, EDP, YSLY, things like that, Sauvage. You can wear those in fall, again, in winter too, but maybe you're going to switch to like more sweeter fragrances, and that's kind of typically the thing when people go maybe to the tobacco and gourmand. So if that's something that smells like food, this Acro, I have a video, a pretty long video about this company Acro. It's by Olivier Cresp and his daughter. He's one of my favorite perfumers. He does a lot of perfumes for a lot of different companies and decided to open up his own. And he's got his take on how he does it. So he names his fragrances based off of, or they name their fragrances based off of what mood, and then also kind of like what the notes are. Okay, so for instance, he's got a whole series of gourmands, which means gonna smell like food. Like one is like a lemon Madeleine dessert or cookie. It smells great. He's got a coffee fragrance called Awake. He's got a cannabis fragrance called Haze. So these are the samples. All right. And I think there's one called Night that I really enjoy. That's a funky fragrance. And it's there's one that's smoke, right? So it's got a kind of cigarette, tobacco-ish vibe. And you might ask yourself, why would I want to smell like that? Well, that's kind of one of those things, right? Like that's where niche perfumery sets itself apart, I think, a little bit from designer. And that's, again, it's not always the case, but typically a designer company, a designer brand is going to want to produce perfumes that are more appealing to people, that just smell good and not necessarily smell unique or set themselves apart from the crowd. And so you have a little bit more artistic freedom when you are dealing with niche perfumery. And you get some uniqueness, and you get to push the bounds of your olfactory senses and smell different notes and things that you may not be accustomed to, that I think enhance also other things around you, like eating. So if you're able to smell better and pick out notes and dissect certain things through your sense of smell, that's going to enhance the way that you taste food, because a gigantic portion of the way that you taste food is through your sense of smell. So, and then, it just bleeds over into life, just being a little bit more aware of things around you. If you can smell things better, kind of makes things fun. Able to call things out when, if you're with someone, you're like, oh, that tastes like this, or oh, that tastes like, they're like, really? And then you tell them, and then you can watch them, and you can see their reaction, that they didn't taste something or smell something before. But if you're able to pinpoint that and bring it to their attention, and they're able to do it themselves, well, they just kind of unlocked, something in that makes it a fun exercise to see people pick up something that they didn't before, and you call it out, and you're like, oh, wow, that really does smell like this, or oh, that does taste like this. I don't know. That's why I love this hobby, because it kind of blends into so many other things. I'm not sure who's left with me, but I appreciate you hanging on. Perhaps you're the one that gives me thumbs up, and the person that is always watching my live. So if that is you, I appreciate you, because I know there's usually one person in my live that kind of hangs on to the bitter end, and I certainly appreciate it. Even if you never comment, it's nice to know that I'm at least talking to one person versus just myself. But even if it was just myself, I'm still walking anyway for the next, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. Pick it up one. Puts me at a 3.3 at a 6 degree incline, in case you're curious at what my speed and what my incline was. That's what I'm at. The goal is to stay around 100 BPM. All right, so that's kind of what I'm going for. Nothing too strenuous. Still able to hold a conversation like this. That's usually my gauge. If I can, great. If I can't, and I'm probably going too fast. I don't want to stimulate my appetite too much. It would defeat, not the purpose, but it's more about getting low intensity, steady state cardio right now, or LISS, LISS, versus high intensity stuff. So it usually stimulates the appetite a little bit more. Not ideal, especially in a prep. So if you're here, see a couple of y'all still here, let me know your scent of the day, what you're drinking to wake up this morning. Coffee, tea, milk, water. Let me know. I still haven't sprayed my morning scent, but I'm thinking maybe I might go with something from Nikolai. So Nikolai is a cool, very, very well done fragrance house. A lot of very high quality juice, and they give you a lot of bang for their buck too. Usually their fragrances run, depending on where you find them, $150 plus or minus like $30. So again, not outrageous, but in my opinion, you're going to get much more quality for that price out of what you're getting in current releases these days, because the price of fragrance has shot up, especially in Sephora's and Ulta's. They used to, like, the average price used to be like $100 to $120, and now I feel like average price for perfume is in those stores is like $150 to $160. Maybe I'm off, but it's gone up considerably from what it used to be. So let's see. I think actually, let's go with this one. Let's go with Killian. No, it's the morning. Let's go with a classic, Eau de Roche's Homme. All right. So speaking of shot up in price, this used to be super affordable. It's a very clean, citrus, bright, fresh opening with the. It's almost got an Aventus, a Creed Aventus like quality to it. It's like a smoky dry down, maybe oak moss in the base, like, you know, the fake oak moss. But this came out way before Aventus. And I might, maybe my nose is messed up. If you smelled this and get the Aventus vibe, let me know. If you don't, let me know you think I'm crazy. But let's go here. Yeah, super fresh, lemon, boom. Almost cleaner lemon, right? Like Lysol. But there's something in there that saves it from being that. But man, there's definitely some kind of a, I shouldn't say definitely, but I think there's some floral too, maybe some neroli or orange blossom, probably orange blossom. Neroli is expensive. It's not an expensive fragrance. And that lemon. And again, I want to say in the base, some kind of woods that give it a more masculine vibe than it going and leaning on a little bit more feminine with the florals that you can get on. But it is, I think, if you can find it, even at $50 for 100 mil, I think it's super worth it. Although it was a steal when you could get these little 50 mils for $20. I think this is a 50 mil. Yeah, you usually could find these for like 15 or 20 bucks. So I think that's worth it for sure. I'd pay more than that for that. For 100 mil, yeah, maybe 60 bucks. But yeah, so that's going to be scent of the day. Speaking of an Aventus-like fragrance that I think doesn't really get talked about as much anymore. It used to get talked about a lot. This was Mont Blanc Explorer. When that came out, it was kind of at the very starting point of, maybe not the starting point, but just past the starting point, maybe the midpoint of all of these clones and inspired by fragrances that these houses were releasing to smell like Aventus. And it was funny to see the meteoric rise of that scent disseminate through everywhere, all of the houses. It took a long time because Aventus had been out for a long time, and I'm not sure exactly what did it. I want to say it was the combination of Jeremy Fragrance blowing up and Gordon Ramsay mentioning it on his show that is the fragrance he wore. And I think those two things were like a perfect storm, and it kind of caught and took fire. And then also social media, of course, right? That was like 2018-ish, 19. And it's like social media for fragrances was really ramping up at that point. And then by 2020, everyone was locked down. And you're like, I'm stuck at home. What the hell am I going to do? I know. I'm going to get into fragrances because I don't have to leave the house for that. Fragrances just, I mean, everything that you could do from home, anything that you could find, but it brought more people into it, which is cool because it it creates more opportunity for perfumers and businesses and people like myself to make channels and content. It creates all of that opportunity, but on the flip side, right, there's always pros and cons to everything, right? On the flip side, it pushed a lot of opportunistic people to start charging for things that weren't worth it, that aren't worth it, raising prices, blaming things here and there. They're gonna do this and that, and just just the nature of things. That's the way it goes. But I think overall, it's been a positive because if it's something that you enjoy and it's getting bigger, it just means that again, you might have an opportunity to make something out of it that you didn't have before. But yeah, that's just my take. Let's see how accurate my treadmill is versus my watch. Give my heart rate. Let's see. What do y'all think? What do you think on that heart rate? Give me a guess. Ooh, I like that number. It's a nice even number. Any guesses? It is 100. Nice and even. Kind of where I wanted to be. So thanks for hopping on. Thanks for tuning in so far. If you've been sticking with me this whole time, appreciate it. If you like the content, you can go to my channel. Obviously subscribe. You can go to my Instagram. I don't update the TriPoint Sense Instagram so much, but if you are a natural bodybuilding fan and you like that content, you can also check out that page. That's D-Soul Coaching, D-S-O-L Coaching. You can check out my content there. Also on Instagram, and you can get a little bit more insight into the process of natural bodybuilding versus more about perfumes, which is what I'm talking about right now. So if you've just hopped on, I don't know if you've been staying with me. Thank you. And let me know scent of the day. Let me know what you're drinking. I'm always going to ask those two questions because I'm curious. And I do like a little bit of chatter in the chat just to keep things interesting. I don't know. I think I need to get something mounted up here instead of having a tripod over here. Well, this works for now. Let's see. Here's another one. Let's talk about this. Let's compare it, actually. All right, I just sprayed Eau de Roches Homme. It's a nice citrus, a little bit of woody base fragrance. Nothing too complicated, very straightforward. You're getting linear scent the whole way through. It's not going to change. There are no transitions. So if you're that type of person that just what they smell is what they want to smell the whole time, that's a great fragrance, right? Some people don't like that. I get it. Some people, they'll get a fragrance and they spray it on themselves and then they get upset because, 5-10 minutes later, they're smelling something else. Their skin chemistry reacts with it. And they're like, what in the world is this scent? It's awful. It smelled so good on the opening. Or they don't realize it because they're not into perfumes. But most people or most designers are going to have a really appealing opening and it could turn. It's usually not the case for a designer, but some other perfumes do that. So you need to know that that can happen. Plus, your skin changes a lot from what you smell on a tester strip. So if you're going and testing perfumes, always test on your skin before you buy it, because what you smell on a strip, usually not what you're going to smell on your skin. sometimes, but not usually. Plus temperature, right? Temperature is going to change molecules. It's going to change the way that they evaporate and interact in the air. So sometimes colder weather versus warmer weather, hotter skin versus a colder skin, all of those things are factors. Keep that in mind. All right. So this Moschino Uomo, right? This one is, again, another cheapie. I think very, very underrated at this point. It used to be talked about in FragCon quite a bit, but not at this point anymore. But again, a really good clean scent. Good transition scent. You could probably wear it in spring and fall. Summer, yeah, definitely too. Winter, probably not enough oomph if you're in a very cold climate. Not so cold all year fragrance, but let's do this. Oh, here. Sprayer kind of sucks, but all right, so this one, what I get is like a musky lavender, a little bit of lemon. So to me it's a richer, right? If you know this, I think it's a richer version, a little bit creamier version of that, because you're going to get your citruses still. And it lasts a lot longer. So the Eau de Roche's Homme, it probably lasts, I don't know, 2 hours, 3 hours. So that's the downfall, again, which is why, the scent is gorgeous. You got to spray a crap ton. This Uomo from Moschino, you get a couple sprays on that. I mean, you're going to, like I said, it's this very linear fragrance. It doesn't really develop much at all. But you're going to get that scent. It stays close to the skin. It doesn't project, right? So you're not going to get this, people aren't going to smell you from far away after about the first hour or so. But you will smell yourself, and people will smell you close by in your bubble for 6, 7, 8 hours. Sometimes I'll spray it at night, wake up in the morning, and still smell it. There are other fragrances where I can't do that. I can't spray something at night and then, smell it in the morning. So I think you can get this bottle at discounters, right? You can get that for like $35. I think it's a phenomenal value, and you don't have to pay outrageous prices. Again, I like to talk about a little bit of niche, a little bit more affordable, because not everyone can afford certain things at their point, right? But you still want to smell good. You still should be able to find fragrances that smell good at a good price. Yeah, so those are going to be, yeah. Eau de Roche's hangs on, a little bit of lemony, already kind of wearing off, probably because I'm sweating a little bit and it's burning through the fragrance itself. It's another thing, if you may or may not know, the more oils in the fragrance, the longer it's going to last. It may not project, but it'll last on your skin longer because it creates a better layer. It's more difficult to evaporate. Last thing before I wrap up, because I think we're there, hitting the 40-minute mark, and yeah, probably another 5-10 minutes here, but we'll talk about this guy right here. This is, let me wipe it clean, fingerprint magnets, all of these bottles in glass and gold. We've got, so I was talking about cheapy fragrances. This one, you can find it cheaper than you can at the stores online, but it still is not cheap. It's my first and only Killian that I bought. There is one that is called want to say Black Phantom. No, not Black Phantom. That's this Dark Lord. Dark Lord is wild. I like that one. If I were to get another one, I think that's the one I'm going to pick up. They started off, from what I understand, as more of like this gothic horror style fragrances with a theme of like the macabre, right? And I like that stuff. I think it's cool. I think it's interesting. So I used to read a lot of like vampire books and things like that when I was a kid. So I liked horror movies. Still do, but not as much anymore. But that's beside the point. But that's why I gravitated towards this brand. But they also have another side of them, which is cool, in my opinion, too, because they're allowed to cater to both sides, where they do more gourmands. This is still a gourmand, but it's supposed to be in a darker setting, right? Black Phantom. But they do like angels something, and like they do good and bad, right? They're contrasting the two, light and dark. But this fragrance, it's funny because Black Phantom sounds menacing. I don't know the story that well, the play, but I do know that it's supposed to be kind of a sad romance play. I think the man wears a mask because he's deformed, and he has a love that he cannot build up the courage to talk to. And that fragrance, the Black Phantom, kind of resembles that. So I don't know if that's where they're going. I can't remember the story behind it. When you smell it, what I smell is a hazelnut chocolate, rich cocoa drink, syrupy, warm. So it throws you off depending on where your mind goes when you hear the word Black Phantom. If you know the story and you know the play, you might think of the romance side. If you don't, you might think Black Phantom, that sounds a little menacing. So, depending on your expectation when you smell it, might surprise you, might not. It surprised me. I didn't know where it was going to go, but it's a really, really cozy, warm scent that you would want to wear on a date night. I mean, I guess you could wear it during the day too, but it just, to me, it's something where I would want to relax. I don't think I would want to wear it at work. It's not, I have just to test it out, but it's not one of those fragrances where you want to relax and enjoy it and just kind of sit in that sweet, syrupy, chocolatey hazelnut scent. And so, yeah, that's my take on it as far as the way to experience it. But you can do your own thing, right? The other thing about these is that you can undo them, right? And you can get them refilled. So if you're buying these online, be careful. A lot of people that are unscrupulous and will screw you over and give you fake stuff. So that's one of the brands I wouldn't trust unless it's through a reputable person, dealer, store, something like that. Make sure you're getting the legit stuff, and it's not counterfeit. Unfortunately, like I was talking about earlier, with the rise in popularity of fragrances and perfumes, so has been the rise of counterfeits, fragrance, and just people getting screwed over. So make sure you know who you're buying from. You trust them, trust the store. So always worth doing that. Let's see. Where am I at? All right, I'm getting there, y'all. Another couple minutes, and it is time for me to go. It's 7:15 in my part of the world in the morning on Tuesday. And I have just finished my coffee, decaf coffee. Can't be drinking caffeine right now. Affects my sleep too much, unfortunately. But the decaf does the job. I get the flavor, plus, you know, it's not all, it doesn't taste terrible. It doesn't taste as good as regular coffee, I'll tell you that much. But I like to put salt and cinnamon in mine. I started doing that just to try it, and I was like, well, I heard that salt is supposed to enhance the flavor of coffee. Tried that, I was like, I don't like that. But then decaf, again, doesn't really taste, you can't taste notes in it, or at least the one that I buy. I just buy it from Costco. So I was like, well, what can I add to it? Won't be adding any calories and won't stimulate my appetite because of the sweetness of like Splenda or stevia or something like that. Let's go with cinnamon. Turned out pretty good. Give it a shot. I don't know. Check it out. See what you think. All right, y'all. Almost there. Almost there. I'm currently at 2.64 miles. Incline 6. Speed 3.3. In case you're wondering. Probably no one was. Entertaining myself at this point, y'all. Almost there. Get to have a meal after this. Fasted cardio. Is it beneficial? Is it worth it? It's up in the air for debate. Most of the research, most of the studies talk about it not really making that much of a difference, which I think if you're in a hyper, so if you're eating more calories than you burn and you're trying to build muscle, it doesn't make a difference for sure. Even in a maintenance phase, probably doesn't make a difference, but deep into contest prep, I think that there is perhaps a little bit of value to it, especially it can't hurt. That's the way I see it. If it can't hurt, then why not try it? And if you're getting results from it, or you like doing it and knocking it out on an empty stomach, as I do, because it just makes things easier. Also can pose in the morning, then why not? All right. So that's my take on it. I'm not sure if that bored you guys. I got another thumbs up. So if those are the two of y'all in here tuning in, I appreciate it. I'm not sure who you are, but I always really, really appreciate anyone that is hanging with me, because I have no clue how entertaining, how boring, how engaging I am, because, you know, I can't see your reactions. That's pretty much all I got, is the thumbs up and the chat. So, but if you stuck with me this long, must be adding some value, and I'm happy to do that. And always the support means everything. But there it is, y'all. I'm out. I'll see you probably tomorrow, perhaps the next day, and so on and so forth. Have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful day. If I don't see you, take it easy.